Old came out this weekend, and this is a film that I've been looking forward to for a while now. I have an interesting history with M. Night Shyamalan because I know his films aren't great. I don't think personally that he's made a great film since The Sixth Sense. I think Signs is good. I think Unbreakable is good. I think Split is on the borderline of being good, but I can enjoy all of his other films because they're competently made, relatively speaking, but they're so absurd and insane that you can't help but enjoy them. The only one of Night's films that I haven't enjoyed was Glass, just because it was a continuation of two different films that didn't even seem like they should be in the same universe. But I gotta tell you, man, I enjoyed a lot of what Old had to offer. Alex Wolff and Eliza Scanlon and Thomasin McKenzie put on pretty good performances, to be honest with you. They're three of the better young actors that we have today. And although he wasn't super great, Gael Garcia Bernal brings a certain charisma to every character that he has, and I didn't hate his performance. It was suffice for what it was. And as usual with Night films, the thing that really sticks out is the conceptual richness of his films. There's so much there to think about and look at. There's always potential brooming out of the film, whether it be the storyline, the twists are generally interesting enough, and I felt that way with this film. The idea of an island that ages people rapidly could have so much done with it. You could delve into the psyche of each character. You could delve into the interpersonal relationships among everyone on the island. As people go, they have to deal with death. You could do something about that, about aging at a rapid age and dying. People having to confront grief in a very quick span of time. There's so many ideas to be had. But you see, the problem with that is this is directed by M. Night Shyamalan, who does not know how to keep a story under control whatsoever. The dialogue here is horrendous. There's nothing good about it. It's the most... I've seen student films that are written better than Old is. Also, all of those things I said, all of those ways that you could explore death, you could explore grief, you could explore, spoiler alert a little bit, disability, are really not executed on here. It's just the surface level thing that you would think of. There's no substance once again, and I think that's a problem with a lot of Shyamalan's films. He has these great sprawling ideas that he does not know how to execute on, even in the slightest bit, and I think that would be helped if perhaps he got a different writer, but he obviously thinks the world of himself, and there is no way he will do that. So until he does, they're gonna be stuck, his movies are gonna be stuck in this like limbo of potential being unfulfilled and brilliant ideas that just have nowhere to go. Another thing that Shyamalan has a problem with in my eyes is pacing, and that is a problem with Old. This film is almost 2 hours, which is enough time that you could pace things out, but it doesn't seem that way. Everything, because he is such a twist-oriented person, all of the action, like the climax to the falling action, is happening in the last 10-15 minutes of the film, which is not what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to have it at the beginning of the third act. When it's at the end of the third act, essentially, everything happens. I get it, why some people like it, but to me, it just manages to feel super, super rushed towards the end, as if you just kind of spent the whole beginning of the film telling a story, and then there should be another half there, but instead he scrunches it all up into the last 20 minutes or so. And I gotta tell you, I think Vicky Krieps was fantastic in The Phantom Thread. And it may just be Shyamalan's directing and piss poor excuse of writing, but I have no idea what she's doing here. There's not a single well-delivered line whatsoever. She made me laugh on numerous occasions, frankly. And that's a shame. That's weird for someone who was so close to getting an Oscar in 2017 and putting on a really, really great performance next to Daniel Day-Lewis. I know what I'm saying probably sounds a little bit all over the place, so I'm going to try and contain it here because this is non-scripted and I am just trying to get my thoughts out there, essentially. I really, really enjoy this film because of its absurdity, because of its nonsensicalness, because of all of the issues that Shyamalan has with filmmaking, and it seems like he'll always have with filmmaking. That being said, I, for the same reasons, am aware of this not being that great of a film. I completely understand that. But I don't think that you have to dislike something just because you think it is objectively not that great. And by the way, this isn't a awful film. The cinematography is competent. The sound design is competent. The storyline, although it does get a bit fuddled up at the end and the latter half of the middle part, it is all right. It's not something that I couldn't follow. And I think, ironically, the worst part about this movie is when Shyamalan tries to be intentionally funny, because he's one of the least funny screenwriters that I've ever bared witness to. There's a part where Rufus Sewell, who's a doctor in this film, constantly tries to think about the movie that stars both Marlon Brando and somebody else I can't remember, and it's a constant gag throughout the majority of the film, and it's so bad. It is inconceivably bad and forced and not funny whatsoever. Also, there's a rapper in this film, or a rapper in the universe of the film, called Mid-Sized Sedan, and I'm begging Night, for the love of everything that is holy, stop incorporating hip-hop into your films. You clearly know nothing about it. You clearly don't know how to write it, even though you thought you did in The Visit. Just stop it, please, for the love of everyone. That being said, I will say, some of those supporting characters, such as Aaron Pierre as Mid-Sized Sedan, Nikki Amuka Bird, Ken Luang, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. A lot of the supporting characters put in pretty good performances compared to some of the leads, actually, which makes it difficult for me to discern whether these are bad performances or just badly directed performances, because it's such a mixed bag. And ultimately, that's what Old is to me. It is a mixed bag of really good things and really bad things. And I don't really know how to grade this on a scale of 1 to 10, because you can't grade based on potential of a property. And you, in my opinion, if I'm being as critical as I possibly can, you can't grade based off how much you liked it. But I guess I'll do that. So I want to do these movie reviews from more often from now on, and I'm going to give a enjoyment rating and a critical rating. Enjoyment rating is how much I liked it. Critical is more on the actual, as much as I possibly can, objective side. So for my critical ranking, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10. It's almost competent because there are so many good things and so many bad things, but I thought there were just a tad more bad things balancing this out than good things. And for my enjoyment ranking, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I had a lot of fun. I went to see this in the theater this morning, and I saw it in a relatively empty theater. It was super enjoyable, and I had a blast just witnessing everything happen in the way that it did, especially the pregnancy and the tumor scene, those were insane. And I guess that's why I appreciate Shyamalan so much. Because although he swings and misses a lot, and sometimes swings and connects, he never doesn't swing. He's always swinging for the fences, and we don't really see that anymore in modern day cinema. So I do have to commend him for that. So yeah, that is my review of Old. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you want to, you can like, comment, and subscribe, or any combination of the three. I'd like to thank my patrons, Weston Katecki and Carl McGee, and my producer, the BC Film Reviews. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you in the next one. Goodbye.